Hello everyone and welcome back to another Five Nights at Freddy's news video. Today we are once again going to be talking about the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, which has a ton of news for it once again. Since the last time we talked about the FNAF movie, there have been several more character reveals for the cast, and we've gotten official news that the Five Nights at Freddy's movie has actually gone into production, which means that it is actually happening and is no longer stuck in development hell. First off, we've got confirmation that Vanessa will be in this movie. An actor named Elizabeth Lael, who is most known for her role in Once Upon a Time and has had small roles in TV shows like Blacklist and Robot Chicken. Now, I find Vanessa's inclusion in the FNAF movie very interesting, as Vanessa is one of the newest additions to the FNAF cast, with her first appearance being in Security Breach. And every other character that we've gotten revealed so far has been a staple of the FNAF universe pretty much since the beginning. So that kind of seems to hint towards the FNAF movie trying to squeeze in lore in some form from almost every game, which does definitely concern me, considering that including all 9 games, the FNAF timeline is one of the most convoluted messes in storytelling history, and trying to shove in that much lore and context into a 2, maybe 2.5 hour movie may not have a very good end result. This also confirms that Mary Stuart Masterson, who is simply listed as playing a female villain, will most likely play Baby. As in the last video, the 2 most likely options for her for the female villain were Baby and Vanessa, but now we know that Vanessa is going to be someone else. Second off, we got Jofel Love and David Hudson Doty, who are going to be playing 2 of the 5 murdered children, which does certainly seem to be based off of the depictions of the children found in the Five Nights at Freddy's graphic novels. And finally, Lucas Grant, who is going to be playing a character by the name of Garrett. As for who Garrett could be, I'm not really sure, although some people have suspected that he could be the Crying Child, and he definitely does kind of resemble the Crying Child. However, we were previously under the assumption that the Crying Child's name was Evan, but this movie also casts Michael's younger sister as a character named Abby. So one possible theory here could be that the FNAF movie takes place in an alternate universe, where Mike's siblings have different names. Instead of being called Evan and Elizabeth, they are named Garrett and Abby. And if this is some alternate telling of the FNAF storyline, I just hope that Scott Cawthon and whoever's in charge these days keeps it that way. Because if you remember back to 2015, that is the exact same thing that Scott Cawthon said with the books, that he wanted to keep the books as a separate timeline away from the games, as the games were far too convoluted and he wanted the books to tell a simpler story. And now fast forward to 2023, and the books are not only heavily intertwined with the game's storyline, but also the most convoluted and confusing part of the entire FNAF universe. As well as the new cast listings, Matthew Lilliard, the man who is going to be playing William Afton, was seen in a recent interview talking about the FNAF movie. In this interview, Matthew said that he had not only been cast for this FNAF movie, but had been signed into a 3-movie deal, meaning that there are most likely going to be 3 FNAF movies that will possibly lay out a clear and cohesive story of the Aftons. Now, this news about there being possibly 3 FNAF movies actually reminds me of something Scott said back in 2018 on his interview with YouTuber Dako, saying that in a perfect world, he would like the FNAF movies to be a trilogy, but doesn't want to plan for a trilogy right away so he can focus on the first film and really make it good. And while it does seem like there's going to be 3 movies as he said, it also seems like he did in fact end up jumping the gun on making it a trilogy and signed up for 3 movies anyway. Alright, now last up we got this tweet from Jason Blum posting a photo of camera footage of the first scene of the Five Nights at Freddy's movie, which shows someone sitting in a chair, presumably Mike or William, with a clapperboard covering his face reading Bad Cupcake, which is most likely the name of the production studio that will be producing these FNAF movies. You can also see on the bottom of the screen that there is a small figurine of Vanny, which, if the IMDb credits weren't convincing enough, definitely confirms that Vanny will be in this movie. And obviously this is really exciting because this means that the FNAF movie is happening, and will probably be coming out sometime in early 2024 if everything goes to plan. So we only had to wait 9 years for it, you know, it's not too bad. My main concern of the movie, though, is that the story will be way too over-convoluted and try to squish in too many parts of the lore so that it won't make sense and won't really be accessible to newer fans or anybody who just wants to watch it as a genuine horror film. But apart from that, I am definitely excited for it, as someone who's been a FNAF fan from the very beginning. Alright, so thanks for watching the video. And I will try to keep you guys updated on the FNAF movie, because for the first time ever in like 9 years, there is actually news on it pretty regularly. So if there's So if there's more news in the next few weeks, I will definitely make another video on it. But that's pretty much all for this one. So make sure to like, subscribe, comment, to boost the engagement and watch time and all that other stuff I just pretend not to care about. And goodbye. I will see you in the next video.